You've got a decent understanding on where we are right now. How big is the deficit for the crude market at the moment?
We have a pretty large deficit. We're running around 15 million barrels a day short, 15% short of what we need to see for prices to stabilize, go down to $60, $70 a barrel. So it's a big gap, and obviously measures like this will help ease market pressures, and of course we are going into peak demand season, which makes the deficit potentially even greater. So so I think obviously look, it's all about the Strait of Hormuz. Can it reopen soon or not? And we've been talking about this now. I guess I feel like we're into the 11th week, 12th week.
Feels like the 11th year.
The 11th year, 11th year, 12th week. I don't know. I think what's interesting is I think the news over the weekend are very good news. Also, what we heard from on the agricultural side. Because at first it felt like the only agricultural discussion was rose seeds, but now it's actually corn and it's wheat, and all of that I think it's kind of provide market relief. So I think it's a sign of goodwill that China wants to cooperate, and I think it's important to understand. I mean, China is the world's largest exporter. The last thing they want is to see a global recession. They need that export market.
Well, let's start with oil, and let's assume a lot of things. Let's assume nothing changes. And the existing strategy of the US is to maintain the blockade, to get Iran to suffer, because they believe we're very close to breaching storage capacity. Given the inventory draw that you're seeing globally at the moment, if I had to ask you, assuming everything else remains the same, what happens first? Tank bottoms in the West or tank tops in Iran?
I think tank tops in Iran are pretty close. Then again, we think that Iran can survive roughly with one vessel a week, a 250,000 barrels a day. That they don't really need that much money to pay their bills. Now, on the other hand, also we've seen Iran basically shutting down exports for about 4 years after the repeal of the JCPOA initially during the Trump 1.0 administration. So I don't really think that the Iranians, because they have to shut down fields, they're necessarily, I mean, they've been there before, kind of thing, right? While us in the West, the challenge is that obviously we're going to have a much more challenging summer season, right? And people are not going to be happy. So not only you're paying higher prices, but you may have availability issues, and that can be a problem.
Are we at tank bottoms anywhere in the world right now?
So some of the countries in Asia are really experiencing a lot of strain. If you're a large energy importer with a large current account deficit, say like India or others, you are running into a lot of problems, right? I mean, Japan's seen a collapse in inventories. We've seen a number of Asian countries as well in the same position. This is primarily a Pacific crisis. It's not an Atlantic crisis yet, and that's why we haven't felt as much pain in kind of Europe, US.